I'm live. Grateful day. Welcome to the 58th episode of the Faith Forward Fearlessly podcast with your host, Jenée Hudson, the Uplifter. I inspire current and transitioning professionals and entrepreneurs with just a passion for helping others overcome challenges, professional development, and personal transformation. Just simply to preserve everything that you do in life, all anchored in faith. Time for the Friday t-shirt. Okay, so today's t-shirt says, created with a purpose. What does this t-shirt mean to me? Well, let me tell you. This shirt is just simply a reminder that although we have all experienced like challenges, just along our paths as entrepreneurs, on your 9-to-5, that we have also just that bounce back factor, right? In order to get to the next level, despite what we're going through, all right? So that is what this shirt pretty much as a reminder is for me. And it's also a perfect transition for today's episode. And I actually have a guest, so I'm so excited. All right. Today's episode is called Bouncing Back, Crafting Your Unique Next Level Results with guest Lisa Howze, you guys. I first want to share with you, though, that, resilience isn't just about surviving. It's about thriving, right? And whether you're like just recovering from like a setback, or preparing like for that comeback, or simply ready to take like that leap of faith, right? This episode is your spiritual and practical roadmap to elevation, you guys. So today I am honored to introduce our esteemed guest, Lisa Howze. Let me just tell you a little bit about her, just a little bit. So Lisa Howze is a nationally recognized empowerment speaker. She's an author, a CPA, and a career strategist with over 30 years of experience across government, higher education, and the accounting profession. Phenomenal, right? So from overcoming childhood just eviction, to becoming like a successful entrepreneur, Lisa's journey is a powerful story of resilience and determination. And also, as the founder of and CEO of the Lisa Howze Experience, LLC, she empowers professionals and next-gen leaders to simply just bounce back with that, her signature bounce back framework, I should say, featured in her book called The Candy Girl Mentality. Keys to turning bitter moments into sweet success. Wow, that title alone, you guys, is it fire or what? Put fire in the chat if you agree. Lisa's impactful career includes serving as a Michigan state representative, where she championed economic growth and tax relief, you guys, for low-income residents. How amazing is that, right? And as a university vice president, where she focused on student retention and debt reduction. That is fire, you guys. Oh my goodness. So today, she is a passionate ambassador for an accounting profession, working to strengthen the CPA pipeline, which is just great, with degrees from University of Michigan's Ross School and Ross School of Business and Walsh College. So you guys, this woman is phenomenal, right? Lisa combines her just overall expertise in accounting and finance with a heart for service, which is so amazing to me. All right. And when she's not inspiring others, you guys, oh my gosh, she's proudly known as the best auntie ever. All right. To her nieces and her nephews. So please join me in welcoming Lisa Howze. All right. Let's get her in here. Let's see. 1 second. Okay. Oh, there she is. Okay. All right. Yes. All right.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
All right, I gotta get this camera position right.
Okay. Yeah, you might need to scoot up just a little bit. Yep. Coming in because you're a little far back.
One more deal. This is all new for me. How's that?
You might want to scoot up just a little more because you're a little far back.
Oh, too far back. Okay.
Look, we don't bite.
Okay. All right. You like come closer. How's that?
That's better.
Perfect.
Definitely better. Yay! Welcome. Thank you so much for being the guest today on my podcast. I really do appreciate you for doing this, and you'll be sharing your wisdom with everyone. So I just see it as a blessing. So thank you so much.
Thank you for the invitation. I'm happy to be here.
Yes. All right. So, Lisa, first go ahead and expand on yourself, how people can actually contact you.
Well, one way of getting in touch with me is through my website. I am lisahowze.com. You can follow me here on Instagram at iamlisahowze.com. And I'm also an active participant on LinkedIn as well as Facebook.
Phenomenal. So good. And hey, viewers, if I'm following Lisa Howze, so if you can't find her, by all means, you can go into my information and check her out. You can get her that way as well. All right. So welcome again, Lisa. So glad that you're here. So to guide this discussion today, these questions that I'm going to ask you, there are 5 of them, of course. So I actually call them gifts. So it'll be a question, answer, and so on. All right. But I'm so eager to ask these questions to you so we can get your wonderful wisdom and guidance for all the viewers and listeners.
Okay.
So if anything else, we can get started. You got any questions or anything? You good?
Okay, someone commented about my mic. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I guess we could hear you a little clearer. Do you need to come closer or something, or?
It's just the way that the camera is set up on my desk here. And so it's in an apparatus, so it's a little bit distance from me because of that.
Okay.
But
So,
if I need to make another adjustment, I'll do that as well.
okay, yeah. Can you
Tell me if this helps better.
It's kind of low. I can hear you, but it is kind of low, so I understand what they mean.
Okay.
So we want to be able to hear you clearly. We can hear the words are clear. It's just you sound a little far away, just a little bit. Like
Okay.
closer to the mic, maybe, or are you using the mic on your phone?
I am using the mic through my phone.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds like there's a little something in the background. I don't know. Are you taping also, or what?
There is what's helping to transmit is this device here is connected to my phone to help with the audio. So this is a microphone itself.
Okay. Okay, so long, maybe you need to speak into it or something, because again, I can understand what they're saying. I can hear you, and I can
Okay.
clearly
How
it's
about
a
now?
little ways away.
How about now? For the person who made that comment.
Okay,
Any
maybe
difference?
if whoever made that comment, please put in the chat if it's better. Okay, yep,
Okay,
now we
now
can
we
hear you
can hear
now.
you. Fantastic. Thanks for that.
Fabulous. Champions
I
are
love your
highly.
community. They're so understanding.
Oh, yes, they are. They are amazing in my community. But and as I always say, champions adjust. Always. So there
Absolutely.
you go. All right. Well, let's get started then. I'm going to go ahead and start with gift number 1. So, Lisa, your signature bounce back framework has helped just many professionals transform like setbacks into success. So can you just share a pivotal moment in your journey from like your childhood eviction to becoming a CPA that first taught that taught you the power of bouncing back? What was that?
Absolutely. And so before I dive into the bounce back framework itself and how it helps professionals to build resilience and elevate their careers, would it be okay if I share with your audience just a little bit more about myself so that they can get to know me better?
Yes, you can.
All right. Fantastic. Well, before all the things that anyone may read about me in my bio, the introduction that you may have provided for me, I always tell people that before there was all these titles and letters that follow behind my name, I was just simply Lisa. Grew up with 4 older brothers who teased me, right? Had a single mom who raised the 6 of us, my older brothers and my older sister, who struggled, frankly, to be able to keep food in the refrigerator and the lights and gas on. As you mentioned, by the time that I reached my 3rd grade and before my 9th birthday, my family and I had been evicted from our home twice,
Wow.
okay, in a matter of 2 years. That caused me to spend the first 5 years of elementary school going to 5 different schools. So imagine that, the disruption that created. And it would ask one or beg one to think, well, how did you succeed? How did you bounce back? And more importantly, how did you bounce back better? And so there's 2 things that I learned at that early age that were necessary for the success that you see now is both resilience and resourcefulness. So when I'm teaching these principles to the organizations that I talk to, primarily within the accounting profession, as well as working with college students, helping to prepare them for the accounting profession through the pipeline initiatives that we participate in. The bounce back framework really focuses on 3 things in identifying what a setback is. You see, a setback can occur in 3 forms. I call them the 3 Ds: disappointment, delay, and detours. You see, disappointments are the what? They set the expectations that we have. So, you ever find yourself where there's something that you wanted, but it didn't happen the way that you expected it to
Yeah.
happen? So you were left disappointed. Well, what about that delay? There was something that you wanted to happen as of a certain time. Many of us, as we get advanced in our years, we won't share what that number is, right? But we start to say things like, this should have happened already.
Yes.
And so what I want your listeners to know is that delay is not denial. The last is detours. This is sometimes when we feel like we were on a certain track and then something from out of nowhere comes along and knocks you off that track. Anybody ever been there before? Like you had your mind set on what you're going to do tomorrow and the next day and the next day, and then boom, out of nowhere, change happens.
Yes.
And so a lot of times we'll find ourselves distraught about those detours and having to take a different path. But the reality is that redirection that you're experiencing is nothing more but direction toward your destiny.
Yeah.
So you were on your way to a destination, but God says, I have a destiny for you to reach. And sometimes it requires going a whole different path in order to get there.
So good.
Yeah, and then for me personally, you asked, about my CPA journey. Early in my career, that is where I experienced one of my first setbacks. It was in taking the CPA exam. You see, I don't know about you, if there's something that a credential that you knew that you needed to attain because it was going to make the difference between your next promotion and your next pay raise, right? And so the CPA designation is important for anyone who's pursuing a career in accounting. Like, that is not good enough to just graduate with a degree in accounting. You want to go on and get your CPA license. But see, what it requires is taking this exam that will test you to all ends of the earth. So here's what that experience was like for me. I took the exam the first time, and guess what happened? I failed. I did not pass. I was a little bit disappointed, but I said, okay, I'm going to study again, and I'm going to take it a second time. Took it that second time, and guess what happened? I didn't pass again. And I said, you know what? I took those results, balled them up, threw them across the floor, and said, I'm never taking the test again. So at that point, I literally had grown discouraged. And so, keeping true to my word, the next time the exam was offered, I set that sucker out. I said, I'm not taking it. But I watched other people continue to pursue their dreams. So has anybody here ever had something that you wanted so bad? You applied yourself, but it didn't work out. That occurred as a disappointment. And then, to evidence the second phase of that, which was discouragement, I balled up the results, threw them across the floor, said, I'm never taking it again. That was that moment where I felt like giving up. In fact, I did give up. But it wasn't until there was a young lady in my office who had passed 3 parts of the exam. And I said, whoa, how'd you do that? And she showed me and told me exactly what she had done. She said, I studied every day before work, during my lunch hour, and after work. She says, and then on the weekends, I studied 8 and 9 hours a day, both Saturday and Sunday. You want to know what I said in response to that?
Oh.
I did like many of you have probably done. I said, I'm not doing it because it seemed like too much work.
Yeah.
And so shortly after that, I said, you know what? Lisa, you just asked her, what did she do? She told you exactly what she did. So who are you to say, I'm not going to do it? So once I got my stinking thinking together, right, and decided to go ahead and apply myself and do it in a more disciplined fashion where I could be accountable to what I said that I wanted to get done. I put together a schedule. I had that regular study habit. And guess what? The next time I took the exam, I passed 3 parts. And then the 4th time, I got the whole thing done. And so, why do I tell that story to you? Because it's one of my favorite stories to share. Is that it's all about how I responded to that initial disappointment. You see, I have remained in, and if you find yourself remaining in this place of discouragement, you allow your disappointment, which are inevitable. But discouragement is a choice. I originally chose to have a pity party and not apply myself. But when I saw that what I wanted was actually possible through someone else's example, that's when I knew that I could do it too. So.
What? That's what's up, though. You kept going even after you were like, nope, I'm not doing that again.
Listen.
That is phenomenal. And thank you. That is such a wonderful story to share because so many times we just get frustrated, like you said, and it's just the human nature thing to do, right?
Absolutely.
To give up. But so glad you did because look at you now. Look at you now. I also wanted to mention how totally relatable about how you moved around and things like that. The difference for me, though, is mine was more of the military life. So
Okay.
I do comprehend and understand that too was very difficult just because of things that took place in my personal life, things like that too. But I
Yeah.
totally relate when you said like you had to move schools and things like that from being evicted and things. So man, but all I got to say is I'm so glad you're here and you kept going. Look at you now. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna move on to gift number two.
All right.
So gift number two is in your role as the CEO of the Lisa
Mhm.
Howze experience. You've like seen countless professionals just trying to reach out to and do their next level for the most part, right? So what's the most surprising like habit that you've noticed about what truly holds people back from advancement? And what do you recommend they do differently?
Got it. Well, oftentimes when people think about being held back, we tend to remove ourselves and we focus on something that's outside of us. And
Mhm.
it becomes they're holding me back. They won't let me succeed. They won't let me advance. This person did that. They're withholding information from me, right?
Mhm.
But what I found is that it boils down to two things. One, perspective and purpose.
Mhm.
What do I mean by that? A lot of times when you experience those setbacks, those disappointments, those delays, those detours that we talked about earlier, it usually, we usually find ourselves in a position where we take on that victim mentality. So I
Mhm.
don't know if there's anybody who's watching us now can relate to whether you have done it or someone you know who has done it, right? It always becomes someone else's fault, right?
Yep.
But when you take personal responsibility for your career and you understand that sometimes the things that are happening to you are really happening for you,
Mhm.
go from being victim to victor. The second thing I mentioned was about purpose.
Mhm.
One question that you must begin to ask yourself is, why am I here? Most people think that we go to work just to earn a paycheck so we can pay the bills, maybe take a 2-week vacation if we're lucky, right?
Yep.
Because how many of you have ever worked so hard, you build up that vacation bank, and it's the end of the year and you still haven't taken a vacation? If that's you, say that's me in the chat.
Guilty. Guilty.
Because you're working way too hard, right?
Yep.
And so the thing is you have to understand your purpose for being there. And so the question I want you to begin asking yourself is this: is these three or these this acronym WIIFM, and then there's WIIFM with a line next to it. What is that? First one is, what's in it for me?
Mm.
When you think about why I am here, you have to understand what it is that you want to get out of that job. What new skills do you want to develop? What new knowledge do you want to acquire? What new abilities do you want to demonstrate so that you can show that, hey, I've learned it and I've been able to successfully apply what I've learned?
Mm.
Where you are currently is meant to be a training ground. That's how you have to look at it. Don't look at it like, oh, I'm going to be the CEO of this organization one day, or I'm going to make partner. That may or may not be in the cards for you. I don't want to discourage you if that is your goal or your passion. But what I learned early on in my career is that your number one job is to learn as much as you possibly can, and then use that knowledge to apply it either to your next opportunity or to this next WIIFM. And what that is what's in it for my family?
Oh.
What's in it for my community? What's in it for my legacy? You see, when you have something that you're working for that's bigger than you, then you show up differently. You
Mm.
can't just go pop off on people when they make you mad. Because you might have a wife or a husband or kids that need to be taken care of. So you need to be mindful in that situation and be more self-controlled. When it comes to your community, I've been proud to have served in different capacities that have allowed me to serve my community. You know, running for city council in the city of Detroit, eventually becoming an elected state representative, candidate for mayor in the city of Detroit, and then the mayor's first chief of staff and director of government relations. And in those capacities, I got a chance to work on some key issues that benefited residents here in the city of Detroit. And one of the assets, the value add, was having that financial background as a CPA and an accountant so that I can help resolve issues that related to people personally and professionally because of those experiences. And so what I want to ask your listeners to do is to think about the capacities in which they currently serve. How can, what's in it for me, what's in it for you? Think about that, like actually thinking about why you are where you are. Like why God blessed you so with this particular job, with this particular career, with that particular office, with those people that you work with at that office. Why did he place you there? What is the purpose? What are you supposed to gain? And more importantly, what are you supposed to give? Because when you leave and go on to your next venture, whenever that is, like I've not stayed anywhere too long, and that's been by design. And we can talk about that, about making that transition, right? But
Again,
what say again?
say that again. Like, real. There's a few people I know need to hear that on here. I'm telling you.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, you know, there comes a time when you must move on, right? And there's a preparation process for that as well. You know, let's think about the news of the day, right? So let's just be present to what's happening today. And I won't get into politics, but I will share how policies and directives impact our lives more than we know, more than we once knew, but we're starting to find out, right? Some people have FAFO, as they say.
Yep.
Right? And that's something that you don't want to do, but sometimes that's what we do. And so in that regard, it is about being prepared to transition versus being pushed into a transition that you weren't expecting. And so definitely, you know, that's an exciting topic for me to get into. So yeah.
So wonderful. Thank you. That was so much knowledge. I hope you guys got it all. Let me and if you didn't, go back and watch it, listen to it, and get these gems. Love it. I absolutely love it. You know what I really like from that, the fact that you called it a training ground. That's my first time hearing it that way. So I like that. Like that. And then just like you said, just before you go to bed tonight, I know many of us, especially in my community and listeners and stuff like that, are very like they can pray, all these things. So definitely ask that question, like, why was I blessed? We're so thankful. I know I am very thankful that I am blessed. So you know what? I'm going to ask that question as well. Thank you for that, Lisa.
Quite well.
Hey. So gift number 3. So it's about that amazing book title and book. So your book, Candy Girl Mentality, that's fire, by the way. I love that title. But it introduces like strategies for like turning bitter moments into sweet success, right?
Yes.
So can you just walk us through one key strategy that our listeners could just implement immediately in their like professional lives altogether?
Absolutely. So one key strategy is being a great listener, right? Now we hear that from time to time. You got to be a great listener. That's a skill that we all should use, right? But what are you listening for? What you're listening for in this case is the perfect opportunity that was designed just for you. You're listening for the perfect opportunity that was designed just for you. What do I mean by that? So what you're listening out for is that, let's say, for example, you're sitting in the company-wide meeting and your leader is doing a presentation and they're sharing what is top of mind for them in this upcoming year. What are those priorities that they want to see addressed? And you're listening to them share that vision and sometimes some of the pain points of the organization. And something perks your ears up because it's like, oh, it sounds like he's speaking or she is speaking directly to me. This is when you know that, hey, I'm the subject matter expert on that. Nobody else in this organization has the knowledge, experience, or past success in this area than me. I might want to listen a little more closely. And as you continue to listen and you identify that, yep, I am uniquely positioned to address that. The next thing that you need to do is to let that leader know, hey, I was listening to what you said in the meeting, and I think that I can add some value there. In fact, here's a little bit of research that I did. Let me know what you think about it, and just let it sit at that, right? What you have done now is you planted a seed. And the reason why I say this is because it's the exact thing that happened to me in the second to last year before I transitioned from Mayor Duggan's administration here in the city. So what that was is the city was, or our residents were leaving a sum total of about $70 million a year in unclaimed tax credits, right? From not filing for the earned income tax credit. And so it's tax season now, right? So everybody's hustling and bustling to get their taxes prepared so they can get that money back. Right. Would you believe for years, $70 million was being left on the table unclaimed?
Wow.
Yes. And so a lot of that was due to the lack of knowledge. So what did we need to do? Number one, the reason why I was uniquely positioned to answer that call was, one, I'm a CPA. No one else in the cabinet was a CPA. Two, I worked on the board of the organization that prepares tax returns for those at no charge. So I knew the inner workings of what we needed to accomplish and how we could assist in closing that gap. Three, when I was a state representative, I served during the time when the state match for the federal earned income tax credit was reduced from 20% down to 6%. And thankfully, in the last administration here in the state of Michigan, that number was raised back up to 30%. So if anybody's listening, you know someone who needs to file their income tax return, they may think that, hey, well, I didn't work a whole lot last year and I don't owe, so I won't file. You could be leaving money on the table because just because you don't owe doesn't mean the government won't give you more money back because of how much you earn, right? So it's based on how much you earn. They're giving you above and beyond anything that the government would have withheld. So that was key. So we launched this amazing awareness program. We engaged other community partners to reach out to the members of the community that they serve so that we could do an all-out effort to help Detroiters file their tax returns and put money back into their pocket.
Phenomenal.
Yes.
I love that. That is so wonderful. Man. And just the fact that you were able to even experience that and give your expertise and help, that is such a blessing, Lisa. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. And so that's all about legacy because now it is, let's see, we launched that program in the summer of 2016. The 2017 tax season was when we first began to, when the campaign was officially launched and we were preparing the taxes. So if that was 2017 and it's now 2025, it's 8 years later and there's still billboards, that I've seen driving around. It's like, that's my legacy.
And
that's my legacy.
Amazing, right? Man, so phenomenal. Thank you so much for that. Look, okay, so I don't know if you guys took your notes, but I've got be that listener, okay? So for that perfect opportunity for yourself, definitely. And what was it? The second one was pretty much
Where you're the subject matter expert.
yeah, let the leader know.
Uh-huh.
Plant that seed. I'm always planting seeds, so I can definitely do that. And then that third one was pretty much look, the main thing, which was phenomenal, and thank you again for that. But don't leave money on the table, you guys. Don't do it. Love it. So amazing. Thank you for that. All right. We're on to gift number 4. So we only have 5, unfortunately. But gift number 4. Okay, so you've successfully, with along with many other things, obviously, but you've successfully navigated various leadership roles, right? From like state representative to university vice president. So how do you recommend that professionals or entrepreneurs build resilience when taking on a new challenging like avenue that will help like push them outside of their comfort zone? Because I know we all stay in our comfort zone. So.
Yes. Yes. So one of the keys to that question is when you're talking about taking on new challenges and new opportunities, that is the heart of what an entrepreneur does.
Mm.
So it's about applying, whether you are an entrepreneur, an entrepreneur, or you never saw yourself as any of those names, but you're just good at what you do, right? So in being good at what you do and adding value to your organization, it means you are able to, one, identify a problem. That's just step one. But step two is being able to introduce a solution that addresses that problem. That's how you close the gap. So having that entrepreneurial mindset to say that I'm in this new environment. So this is where I found myself. Running for state representative number 1, that was something I never wanted to do. Because it was something that I never wanted to do in terms of running for political office when I ran for city council, right? Mm-hmm. But after having stepped outside of my comfort zone, because that was huge. I'm an accountant. I don't do politics. I don't know anything about knocking on the door, leaving a leaflet on anybody's door, doing radio ads, all that stuff. I didn't know anything about that. But what I did know, and it's funny because my people will see things in you that you never saw in yourself, right? So I had this conversation with my college roommate a few years back, and she was always the political guru. Like when people would come, other classmates and dorm mates would come to our room, they would get into a debate with her about politics. I, on the other hand, would sit back and watch the show. Because that's what it was. And the reason that is because she was a Republican at that time, and everybody else was Democrat. So there were some very intense conversations during that time. So I said to myself, could you have imagined that I would have done the things that I'm doing today and have done? And she said, yeah. I said, how's that? I said, because you were the political one. I was into accounting and business and making money. And she said, Lisa, you've always had a heart for people.
Yeah.
I said, wow. Wow, like that's huge. That's like the biggest compliment that anyone could give me.
Wow.
To be able to see my heart, right? To understand that the things that I do and have done haven't just been about me. Wow. So when you think about yourself, how do people see you? How do you show up? What is it that you do that's not easily recognizable to you, but someone else comes by and gives you a compliment? How do you usually respond? Do you say, oh no, that's not me? Do you brush it off? Or do you sit back and embrace it and say, duly noted. Okay. What what would happen if you actually leaned into that strength that they identified with you? If you leaned into that quality that they identified in you? What if they saw something in you that gave you that extra push to bring it to pass? You see, a lot of times we have these gifts and these talents deep down inside of us, but it takes someone else to help recognize it, number one, and two, to help us push it out. So there's actually, when we talk about the book Candy Girl Mentality, there's a chapter, I believe it's chapter 6. And the title of that chapter is PIMP-ology. Pimpology. But it's not the kind of pimp that you might be thinking of, right? So,
Good thing. No.
so PIMP actually is an acronym for persons who inspire you to be more productive. PIMP. Persons who inspire you to be more productive. It is also an acronym for these 4 types of people who represent the PIMPs in your life. Number 1 is the pusher. This person's job is to help identify and help you push or bring your dream to pass. How many of you have ever had something that you desired to do, but you were afraid, you were uncertain, you thought that it wouldn't succeed, that you didn't have what it took, but you had this desire, right? So this other person, their job is to see this. In fact, they've been hearing you talk about it all along, right? And they say to you, girl, you still talking about that? What are you going to do with it?
Yes. Just had that conversation with a girlfriend this week. He jumped.
So their job is to push you so that you can deliver, so that you can birth that dream and bring it into reality. So that's the P in PIMP. They're the pusher. The other person is the influencer. So the I is for influencer. And so these people, they know a lot of other people, right? And their job is to introduce you to other people that you don't know, to open doors of opportunity for you. So they are influencers. Then there's the M, which stands for mentor. These people don't do it for you. They model for you what success looks like, right? And here's the thing that I always say when it comes to a mentor-mentee relationship is that your job as a mentee is to do your job as a mentee. And part of your job, the main part of your job, like if y'all really want to know what the main part of your job, type main part in chat. Just go ahead and do that. Type main part.
Type it in there, y'all.
I ain't gonna tell you till I start seeing main part type.
Put main part in the comments, you guys. Come on now. Look, let me put it in there too, main.
All right.
Because I want to know. Boom, boom.
All right. So the main part that in the requirement of you as a mentee in that mentee-mentor relationship is to not waste that mentor's time. Don't waste.
Say that again, because I'm a mentor, y'all.
Yes. When you are in a mentee-mentor relationship and you're that mentee, and you've been reaching out, hey, I want to get some time on your calendar. Can I pick your brain? How many times have we been asked that? How many times have you been asked that? How many times have you asked that? Right?
Let me
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? We've asked it several times, right? But if you don't do and follow through with the advice that you have been provided, and that mentor checks back in with you to say, well, yeah, we met, a month ago. You told me you wanted to do X, Y, Z. I gave you the 1, 2, 3 steps to get that done. How's that coming? And you said, well, see, what had happened was,
Yeah. I know
what had
y'all can
happened
relate.
was, see, I was getting started, right? But a distraction came, took my attention, and that thing that I said I really wanted, turns out I didn't really want it. So what you have done, now you might not say that in those exact words, but your actions or your inactions
That part.
is what says it. Okay? So don't waste their time. That part.
I like that.
Last but not least is the promoter.
Mm.
So a promoter's job, they're really good at sharing information. Like they're not attached to whether or not you do it. Like, how many of you have gone to the mall and you saw that there was a sale on your favorite handbag or on a favorite set of shoes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh, girl, get down here to Somerset right now because they have a 50% off sale on these shoes, and I think they got a size 8, your size. And they hang up the phone. Now I wear a 10.
Yep.
So you got all the 8s you want, right? Not gonna hurt me. I'm just sharing information.
Mm.
So the promoter in this case, again, they're not interested, they're not bothered one way or the other if you do the thing or not. They just get satisfaction out of sharing with you the opportunities that are available. And so together, those persons make up the pimps in our lives. Those are the people who are also placed in our path. So placed in my path is another acronym for the PIMP. And so that's why I titled that chapter Pimpology.
Wow. So creative. So is that what the Candy Girls be thinking like? No.
Hey, listen.
The Candy Girls be thinking about pimps, y'all.
So the thing is, right, so for those who don't know and haven't been following me personally, in this Candy Girl journey that I've been on for the last it's been longer than 2 years and talk about the entire journey, but I launched the book in March of 2023. So we're coming up on the 2-year anniversary and I'm super excited about that. So definitely stay tuned for more to come from me. So if you're not already following me here on Instagram, just go to iamlisahowze.com. When we get done here, I would love to accept you back. But Candy Girl mentality, where does that title come from, right?
And
Well,
let us know how we can get it as well. Keep going.
yeah. Okay. So candygirlmentalitybook.com is the website, candygirlmentalitybook.com. So you may want to type that in the comments so they'll have it. But also you can go through the iamlisahowze.com website as well and click on CGM book. So that'll take you to the same page where you can purchase it either for yourself, for a friend, or take advantage of the friends and family bundle. So you get a really great value there. But the title itself centers around the time when I was in high school. I used to sell candy. And so I had been exposed to an organization called Junior Achievement, which teaches young people about entrepreneurship and financial literacy and things of that nature. And so as a result of a project that we had to sell a case of M&Ms, it inspired me to invest in a box of M&Ms to sell them for myself. So one day I took $13 worth of M&Ms to school. At the end of the day, I ended up with $26. I said, that sounds like good math to me. I think I'll do it again. So over a period of that week, I continued to double my money by reinvesting the profits, doing it again. And by the end of the week, I had more than $418. And then over a 3-year period, I had saved more than $4,000, which helped to pay for my first semester at the University of Michigan.
What? That is
Yes.
good. That is so amazing. I mean, look, and you still going, doing the thing. So,
Don't
you
stop.
guys, you can do it as well. I'm telling you. I'm always telling them that anyways. But yeah.
Yeah. And that's the whole idea. I mean, it's what's so fascinating about that story, not that it's just my story, but I was a teenager. We're talking more than 30 years.
Mm.
Did I say
Yeah.
that? Okay. So yeah, it was 30 years ago.
No,
Ain't no shame in my game. I mean,
that's okay. Hey, you still phenomenal. It don't matter.
Absolutely. So the deal is, I was a teenager exercising these principles that weren't commonly taught and still aren't being taught enough, right? Our kids aren't getting it. Their parents didn't necessarily get it. So when we talk about the wealth gap, it's a knowledge gap. If we close the knowledge gap on financial education and the power of money, recognizing that we don't work for money's sake, we're supposed to make our money work for us.
Yes.
Put it to work. A lot of times we part so quickly with our money, it doesn't give enough time to work. But what happens, we're working constantly for it, and it's not working for us. That formula does not work. The math is not mathing.
Right.
So that's where the title comes from. And so really it's a story of resilience. It's a story of resourcefulness. How do you take the little that you have and turn what some would say is not enough into more than enough. And I've been able to do that not only from the time when I was in high school as a candy girl, but having that same resourcefulness and resilience in college, in my first career, running for elected office, serving, all of these areas, even now as an entrepreneur. It is that type of thing where if something doesn't work one way, you don't just give up. You figure out another way to get it done. That is the candy girl mentality.
Yes. And now drop the mic. Phenomenal. I absolutely love that. The title, fire, all the reasons and what the book is about is fire. Yes, we'll certainly be getting my copy.
We appreciate that. We appreciate that.
Yay. All right. Man, I don't know about everybody else, but I myself had so many notes from just that question. Okay. That was the fourth question. We got one last one, but oh my goodness. Okay, so I just want to say this since I'm on here. We started with pretty much how a person sees you and things like that. So, hey, you guys, do me a favor and put in the chat for those who already know me, or even if you just feel that I am a certain way by just hearing from me now. Okay. How do you all see me? I would love to know that. So feel free to put it in the chat. It could be one word, it could be a sentence, whatever works. I would appreciate that. I'd love to hear how you see Jenée the Uplifter. All right. Would love that. Oh my gosh. What else did you talk about? So many good things. I did want to touch on that financial, when you said in the end, just that financial wisdom. Totally can relate, because while you were saying candy, I literally was just getting my life together as a teenager. Unfortunately, even my parents assisted me with that, but I was at, you know what? I need to consolidate all. I had like 9 cars. Okay, remember the stores like Winkleman, all these stores that are no longer around.
Yeah, yeah. Look, imagine that. The stores are no longer here, but imagine someone who's still carrying the debt.
Yeah, see? No, 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 no. I took all them 9 cards and totally consolidated them all as a teenager, because I was like, you know what? I need to build my own credit and make it awesome. And I did that, and it's still excellent. Patting myself on the back. so phenomenal. Thank you for all of that. Wasn't that such great wisdom, you guys? Love it. All right. let's get into the last gift from you. So, gift number 5. Um, Speaking of next level results, you've championed like initiative, um, like reducing debt and strengthening that professional pipeline, right? So what advice would you give to entrepreneurs and or transitioning professionals who are still in those 9 to 5, looking to create that meaningful impact in their actual career or just while advancing in their own business?
Yes. So the key focus here is on the next generation. We
Mm.
kind of addressed that in the last gift that you gave to your audience. It's really about, when you talk about key initiatives, reducing debt, that thought came from when I was serving as vice president at one of the local nonprofit universities here in the city of Detroit. And what I could not bear to see was another young person graduate, or no, not either graduate and carry student loan debt, or not complete their degree but still being responsible for student loan debt that they had accumulated. And so one of the ways to tackle that was to make sure that they were aware of scholarship opportunities.
Mm.
You get a scholarship, you rely less on student loans. So that's number one. The second initiative relates to building that CPA pipeline that we were talking about earlier. So as an ambassador for the accounting profession, a lifetime member of NABA Inc., which is formerly known as the National Association of Black Accountants, a 6-year board member for the state professional association that serves more than 18,000 CPAs across Michigan. I have served in roles that allow me, even though I don't do accounting work anymore, don't call me about your tax.
Oh, no.
But look, because it was like, that was my next question.
No.
I've got the perfect tax preparer and accountant CPA for you. So I've got a network, right? And my network has been great. We support one another. Whenever an opportunity comes up and they say, hey, Lisa, do you know someone? I'm usually the person to make that connection for them.
Okay.
So in that regard, so I sit in a very unique position. Having performed in all these different roles, starting as a CPA, becoming an entrepreneur it's going on 19 years since I first stepped out to live this life and dream as a professional speaker and trainer. So life has come back full circle to bring me where I am today, to be a guest on your podcast, to talk about my book and the trainings that I do for organizations. But the idea is that being in this unique situation and position, I can take off one hat and put on a different one. What do I mean by that? So for example, if I am speaking to students about careers in accounting, but I happen to mention that I also ran for elected office, I served in elected office, inevitably there's someone in that audience who says, I want to run for elected office in my city. I didn't know that I could do that, right? So you kind of open that awareness. I was at an event speaking to some young girls who are, what do they call them? ACA teens. So these are like the little sisters before they become members of the AKA sorority, right? And I listen, I'm an independent, so I'm not taking any sides. I'm just telling the story.
Okay.
So, but have you ever found yourself in a situation where you're mentoring young people and they're looking up to you because you have said something that has sparked such an interest in them that that attraction becomes natural? Like, you don't know what you do for these young people when you go and you pour into their lives, when you show them what's possible through your example. So I've been fortunate to be in positions like that, where now that I'm an author, and I gave away a few copies of my books to these young ladies, and there was a young lady in the audience who just says, Miss Lisa, I'm working on a book too. In fact, I'm thinking about doing a series. What do you suggest I do. And I'm like, oh, now I can put on my author hat, right? So it's either the CPA hat, the political hat, author hat, speaker hat. I got all kinds of hats, right? So think about the various roles that you all serve in, right? You're not this or that. You are this and that. And it's okay because somebody is going to identify with that part of you that resonates with them. And so never abandon those parts of you that may be different than some others around you. Fully embrace it because someone is looking to you for that. So again, this is about the next generation. This is about creating opportunity, leveraging your knowledge, your experience, your successes to help to bring that next generation along. So that is true whether you're in a career or if you have your own business venture as an entrepreneur. We never can get enough of mentorship. And in the space of owning and operating your own business, mentorship and coaches are so important because they've gone the way, they know the way, and those who are generous enough to show the way, then those are the ones you want to follow.
Yes. Oh, good. Look, I'm still taking notes. Oops, and I just dropped the notes. So hold on a second.
No worries. I'm taking a drink of water while you do that.
So good. So good. Oh my gosh. So first and foremost, man, all of your answers for these 5 beautiful questions have been fire and so phenomenal. Again, if you guys can relate and things just you learn some new stuff and for those who just came on and things like that, go back and listen to this. Oh my goodness. So good. Oh my gosh. So even this last question, you know, you mentioned the tax person. And I do have a company that does mine because I do my personal taxes, my kids' taxes, and my business taxes. So that's a great thing. But hey, almost like a hairdresser or a nail tech, it's always good to have another on the side. So I will definitely be getting that information from you. And you know what I like about that is because I'm the type of person that I like to go with people that already you trust them. I know your integrity is impeccable. So, and I'm big on people's integrity, right? So I definitely would get that information from you and know that I'm going to be okay because what coming from Lisa Howze, okay? So I'll be getting with you on that for
Okay,
sure.
no problem.
As well as that example and things that you kind of were talking about with the students and things like that. Man, I have 2 sons, as I call them, big boys, even though they're older, they're in their 20s, right? So I often do try to remember, like Jenée, even though they're in their 20s, they're still looking like, what's mom doing? What, you know what I mean? So I try to lead by example. So I really do try to do that. So I totally relate on that for sure. And they are watching and looking, let me tell you. So,
Kids watch what you do more than they listen to what you say.
I know that's right. Yep. So, and then just that mentorship and things like that, very important because I too am a mentor, you know, just being there for people and helping them through things because I've been there, done that as well. So I get it, you know. So priceless gems, and I appreciate you. Love it. So
Likewise, likewise.
wow, Lisa, I am so very grateful to just have had you on here as my special guest. Thank you again. Is there anything else that you would just like to share, you know, at this time, or tell us again where we can get in contact, whatever you want to do?
Absolutely. So one of the things I want people to know, number one, is that this is your time, right? To focus on you. There are plenty enough distractions in this world right now. And when I talked about those 3 Ds, that represent the setbacks that occur in our lives, whether it's a disappointment, a delay, or a detour. There's actually a fourth D that can create a setback, and that's distractions. You see, when we allow ourselves to become distracted, we can't give attention to those things that are really a part of our destiny, where we should be focusing our time, where you should become more diligent about pursuing those dreams, goals, and aspirations that you said that you had for yourself. Those things that others have recognized in you that you couldn't see in yourself, and they served as that person who pushed you. They served as that person who influenced you. They are those mentors and those coaches who want to see you go to the next level. And then there's those ones who are willing to promote you. Like, what better way than to come on this podcast and be able to share this platform? You share your platform with me in promoting this event. Like, you are officially one of my PIMPs. You are a person in my path. And I can't say thank you enough for this opportunity to come on and speak to you and your audience and share with them the Candy Girl mentality. And so this is what I want your audience to do. For those who go to candygirlmentalitybook.com and purchase my book tonight, I will keep special note of who you are. Number one, I'm going to sign the books for you. Now, that's not something in 2025, that's not something I do for everybody. But because you are on the Jenée Hudson HR Extraordinaire podcast.
Faith forward fearlessly.
Absolutely. So we've got to exercise our faith. We've got to move our communities forward, and we have to do it fearlessly. So go to candygirlmentalitybook.com, pick up a copy of the book. I'm going to enter you into my community when I do my next level of sharing about Candy Girl Mentality. Let me just ask this real quick. So I'm going to test it out with your audience. So I have something that's in the works, like, we had a few technical difficulties earlier because I just set up the studio, but I'm going to be recording more content from my book, Candy Girl Mentality. And I'm going to go off camera for just a second to bring an actual image of the book. Would you like to see that?
See it.
Okay, give me 1 second because I should have it right here, but again, I just cleaned this place up. So 1 second.
See it. We gonna wait for this. I've already seen it, y'all. So, but it's so good. So what she said, candygirlbook.com.
Candygirlmentalitybook.com.
Girl mentality book.
So this is what it looks like. I'll just hold up one.
So good.
Yes.
Wait,
So
wait. Put that back up. Can you closer? Hold a little closer. Are those red bottoms? Oh, sorry.
Listen, everything about this cover was intentional. There are no accidents here.
And it's fire.
Red lips, red chair, red bottom.
Red bottom. Oh, okay. Look, let me. Okay. Love it. Oh my gosh, this was so phenomenal. Thank you so much for being here. I so appreciate you so much.
Certainly appreciate all of you. So yes, if you will follow me at I am Lisa Howze here on Instagram. Like I said, I'm going to be delivering content if you all get value out of tonight. I saw some of you typing value earlier. If you got value out of tonight, certainly type value again in the comments because what that's going to do is inspire me even more to come on this platform even more, to share more gems from this lady right here, Candy Girl Mentality, and I think that your lives will be blessed. Indeed.
Look, and when you start doing your own, if you need a guest, I got you.
Let's go, because it's all about collaboration.
That's
You know what I
right.
mean?
It really is. So, so appreciative of you so very much. So I normally continue to go on, but you can remove yourself from the platform and obviously stay, come back on, whatever floats your boat. But I usually just finish it up and yay!
All
Thank you
right.
so
Well,
much again.
again, thank you. Thank you to all of your listeners and followers. I really appreciate you all. And I look forward to seeing you again real soon.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much, Lisa.
All right.
You
Have a good night.
too. Woo! All right, you guys, we're going to just keep going so I can give my 3 gifts that I want to, give to you tonight. Wasn't that phenomenal? Oh my goodness, you guys. Let's just simply remember to follow and put to action Lisa's wise suggestions, all right? But also, here are my gifts for you today that I want to just relate to you, and hopefully you'll think those are value as well. All about that journey of bouncing back to break through, that whole mentality of that breakthrough, right? All right, let's get started. Okay, so gift number 1 from me is to master your morning mirror moments. All right. I hope you guys got some paper and stuff, or you're going to go back and listen to this because you need to take notes of where to go, because I've been given actionable steps to things. So you don't have to wonder, well, where do I get something like that? Jenée, the Uplifter, is giving it to you right now. All right. So transform your self-talk. We have that self-talk, right? From limiting beliefs to powerful statements, okay? Through just like that intentional mirror work. Like get in the mirror and be intentional, okay? So here are like your implementation tools that I want to give you for this. And number 1 for this, there's 3 of them, is use Think Up. That the Think Up app. That's what it's called. Think Up. And that's to record like personal affirmations in your own voice. All right. It is very important that we stay authentic. So why not put it in your own voice instead of hearing it from somebody else? You know what I mean? And those are wonderful too, but why not hear it from yourself to yourself? So think up. All right. The second one is create that mirror moment card. All right. Using Canva. It's that simple, right? So you're going to use Canva and you're going to print and actually place them around the mirror. All right. So helpful when you do that. And then third is start a first face, is what it's called. First face journal for yourself. Just simply documenting like your thoughts upon like seeing your actual reflection each morning, you guys. Man, just starting to do that, and it is so very helpful. And don't think that it's time consuming, because at first, honestly, I was like, yeah, that's going to take too much time. I can't do that. I got a lot of other stuff to do. Priceless. Priceless, and it only takes a few minutes. All right. So do that. All right. Gift number 2. And that is to monetize your message matrix. All right. So what do I mean by that? So for this, you can simply transform your unique story and your expertise into multiple revenue channels, you guys, through like strategic content planning. All right. Now, I have 3 businesses, so that's why I have all this amazing information. Because who don't need more than 1 income? I know I definitely do. And if you can relate, put that in the chat. So to do this, let me give you those actionable steps to do that. So number 1 for this is simply create a story stack system. All right. Using Notion. So that's what it's called, Notion. which maps out just simply each life experience for you for potential products and services. So it's very valuable to go ahead and look at that Notion application. All right. And then the second one to help you with that is simply use the voice method. Okay. Meaning, so voice stands for value, opportunity, impact, currency, and elevation. All right. To do like those price offerings, it's very, very helpful in your business along your journey. Go ahead and get that voice method going on. All right. And then third for this and last one for this one is you can implement like that profit pillar planning type of situation. And what do I mean by that? Well, this will actually help you to build 4 actual unique income streams, you guys. 4, all right? Based on different aspects of your actual business, all right? So you have that one business, but you're going to have 4 income streams within that one business. So it's going to help you to do that, all right? And you want to use the platform called Artable. That's what it's called. And it's for tracking. All right. So you don't have to have 3 businesses like I do. Simply have the one that you're doing and use Artable to get 4 unique income streams coming in from that one business. Is that priceless or what? All right. So gift number 3 is to scale your entrepreneurial authority. All right. So what you want to do is you want to transform your entrepreneurial like insights into scalable business systems. All right. Um, and it'll help you to actually maintain that authenticity. Because again, it's very, very important to be authentic with anything you do, your business, on your 9 to 5, along your journey. Authenticity is key here. Okay. So, of course, let me give you some tools and techniques to assist you with that. All right. There's 4 for this. And the first one is you're going to simply just create an actual anointed, look at the words I'm using, you guys, an anointed automation flows. Okay. Anointed automation flows by using the Zapier platform. All right. It simply just systemizes like routine tasks while you're like persevering your specific personal touch. Priceless with this one too. All right. The second one to help is to implement the Moses method. All right. Which stands for multiply output through systematic empowerment systems. Okay. Such as using the platform called Monday.com. All right. Number 3 for this is to design your multiplication map. All right. This is going to be very helpful because it identifies like 5 key areas of your actual business, you guys. Phenomenal, right? That can like be duplicated without actually like diluting your actual message. So while you're utilizing it, it's still going to be going on for you. Man, you guys, I wish I would have had this a long time ago, but I'm just very grateful to know about it now. Okay. And then the last one for this is the gift number 3 of this, and that's a legacy leverage points. What do I mean by that? Well, these are strategic points pretty much in your actual business where technology can multiply your impact. You guys, who knew? Like there's so much technology out there, right? But it multiplies your impact without compromising your actual values. Priceless again. All right. So last but not least, is gift number 4, and that is to design your importance. All right. Y'all, let me show you this little cup. You know, purple's my favorite color if you know me. Isn't that cute? It's blinking, y'all. Loving it. All right. I love color in my life. So, designing your importance. All right. So, for this last one, you simply want to create a business environment that sets you apart. You know how everybody's saying, well, what's your unique selling point, and what can you do that no one else can do? And people are going to remember only you and all those things. Well, create a unique business environment for yourself, okay? That sets you way apart in the marketplace while honoring your actual calling. How genius is that, right? Well, let me give you some implementation strategies to help you with that. All right, there's 3. So the first one for this is simply develop your sacred sales system, okay? And you can use the app called ClickUp for this even. It'll help you actually, again, map your client's journey. How phenomenal is that? To align your actual services that you have in place already. Phenomenal, because so many of us are out there just trying to do this ourselves. ClickUp, check it out. All right. And then number 2 is use the King's method. And what I mean by that is, well, first, it stands for King's method. It stands for knowledge integration for notable growth and scaling. Okay. This helps to organize like your business operations as a whole. So again, I have the 3 businesses, so I have 3 different operations going on. Priceless to get this and use it. Okay. All right. So the last one is implement a predictive pricing is what I'm calling that. All right. And what I mean by this last one is let me tell you what it is. It's a value-based pricing strategy that it aligns with your goals, which is priceless, right? And it just helps to simplify using the price intelligence calculator. You guys, math is my least favorite subject, so that intelligence calculator is the bomb. All right. Those are the gifts, you guys. If you missed any of them, please go back, listen to this. Don't forget to like it and things like that as well, okay? But and just check it out and even share it. I'd be very appreciative if you would share it, okay? Also, if you would like me to send you any of these 4 gifts that I just mentioned, okay? Maybe you're driving or whatever that is, and you want them right away before you can actually go back and listen or watch this, do me a favor. Send me a DM, okay? And just let me know that you want gifts put hashtag 58 because it's the 58th podcast today. But let me know which gift you want. You want number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, or if you want all the gifts, just say all, and I'll know what you're talking about. All right. And I'll get those to you. All right. So remember, overall with this podcast today, that bouncing back isn't just returning to where you were. Okay. It's so much more than that. It's about soaring, you guys, to new heights like that you've never, ever imagined that you would ever reach before. Okay. And the next level is definitely calling all of us. Can you feel it? It is calling us. Okay. And it's simply just bigger than your current setback. So don't think about all your current setbacks that you got going on. Okay. let's just persevere to the next level in which we're all worth doing. Okay, let's do it. So, last but not least is time for the bonus opportunity. I've been giving these bonuses since the new year. And for those who are ready to dive deeper, okay, I have 3 slots left, you guys, for free, okay, to do a 30-minute one-on-one consultation with me and to transform your journey, your business, or your lifestyle from that bounce back to your breakthrough, you guys. So get on there, okay? Only 3 spots left for this episode, all right? So really, do not miss this chance, okay, to get tailored advice and take actionable steps. Aren't you tired of just like writing things down and not taking the actual steps? Well, get to me, all right? Get into that Calendly, all right? For this episode, bouncing back, crafting your unique next level results. Will that be you? Let's go. All right. You can click the Calendly. And I'll also put it into, the verbiage when I do post it. So you can go to it there too. But it's the first 3 people, okay? The first 3 that come. That's all I can do at this time for this podcast. So time is everything. All right. As always, you guys, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the Faith Forward Fearlessly podcast with me, Jenée Hudson, the Uplifter. You are so very much appreciated. You guys, I thank you so much for coming on each Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time to this channel and literally just supporting and getting good feedback and giving good feedback. I appreciate you so very much. And do not forget to keep following for ongoing and inspiring content, okay? As well as please subscribe, you guys, to my YouTube channel, the Faith Forward Fearlessly podcast. It's on there as well. And you can share that, right? So it's by Jenée Hudson, obviously. The link also will be in the caption below, and it's in my bio. All right. So no excuses. It's there for you. Man, you guys, keep the faith in all that you do. Okay. Remember, it's just a small mustard seed of faith. That's all you need to keep going. All right. So keep the faith. And until next time, have a very blessed day and a prosperous journey on what? On purpose. Later.